Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
And I'm Dan.
And this is the Board Game Rundown. Today we're going to talk about Dice Miner from Atlas Games. So Dice Miner plays 1 to 4 players. It says like 30 minutes, right?
Yes, that felt accurate.
Yeah,
Accurate.
I mean,
Half
and that
hour.
was with learning.
Yeah.
It took 4 of us
Yeah,
to
all
play.
learning, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like the teach was really easy. The rules are very straightforward. Not that it's overly complicated or anything, but nice, straightforward rules. Everything was pretty clear right off the bat, right?
Yep.
So, like, well, the first thing you do is you got to fill this mountain because we are dice miners. We are
Mining
dwarves
dice. Yeah.
going back into the mountains to find
so
ways
whoever's
to
player 1.
combat the dragons. Whoever's player 1 takes this bag, shakes it up, and then fills the mountain. You should at least try to, like, hey, we did it.
Perfect.
We did it.
Too much.
Nailed it.
That's how it goes.
It's too much.
That is actually literally what you do, and ignoring, spillage for the most part. But so, anyways, there's all these different types of die. Jeff, you are terrible.
He just tried
Much
to throw a
better.
die
Way
back on the
bad.
table and missed completely. It was fantastic.
Completely. So there's different types of die, as you can see. They're different colors. Now, Bob, I didn't ask you when we played as our colorblind expert.
Oh, yeah, no problem. There's no red-green problem because they're, black, yellow,
Yep.
green,
Uh-huh.
the white normal-looking dice,
Yep.
and like a white or a pasty gray.
Yeah,
That's
so they're
blue,
teal.
Yeah.
teal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Gray. But they're different. They're easy to tell apart.
But the nice thing, though, is that
the icons are all
the
different.
icons are all on there as well. So
Yep.
it's good that the colors make it very easy for you anyways,
Yep.
but then the iconography.
Yep.
And the iconography is very straightforward. So you've got these white dice, which are tunnel die. You've got green die, which are like tool dice. The black dice are hazard dice. And the gold dice are gold or treasure.
Treasure.
And then these teal gray, as Bob would call them, are magic die.
The color is magic.
The color is magic. Which color is it? I don't know. So basically what you're going to do is on your turn, you're going to take a die off the top of the mountain. Now, it's got to be one that's exposed. So unless you are doing something specific, which will allow you to pull one from the side,
sides.
you get one die. Now, the really cool thing, though, is that we're all dwarves and we're like fun-loving. So if you have a beer die already in your trove, you can give it to somebody and yell cheers, and then you get to take 2 dice, up to 2 dice, from anywhere that's got a side showing, and you could pull it out, and then everything slides down. So you could pull and pull, things like that. And yeah, it'll slide down. And basically, we're going to go around and around and around until all these dice are gone. Kerplunk. There goes another one off table. And then whatever die you have in your trove, you're going to score. So hazard dice, you would be like, why in the world would anybody take a hazard die?
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense. Well, these tool die, they help you with this. So hazard die has dragons, and it's got these little rocks,
Cave-ins, yeah.
rocks falling, which are cave-ins. And the tool dice, they've got actually like 3 different things, super useful. So it's got the pickaxe and shovel, which counteracts the cave-ins. And it doesn't only...
Not only does it negate the negative,
Yes.
it makes it a positive instead.
Yes, and if you've got multiples...
It multiplies.
And the same thing goes
I
with
learned
the
that quick.
dragon faces and the shields.
Yep.
So it works the same way. Also fantastic. The magic die have basically 1 to 3 pips on them or a beer. I believe all the die have a beer side.
They all have one beer side. At least.
So once everybody's taken all their dice, they've got your trove. You can choose to re-roll for each of the magic symbols you have on the magic die. So, there is a catch. If it's got 2 symbols, you have to, and you use that die, you have to re-roll 2 dice.
Yep.
So you have to sort of pick and choose what and where and when you're going to do it.
You can actually see, I don't know if the Zoom is going to get that, but the one that has multiple on it, because there is a character art thing that we'll get to later, but the dice that have multiple on it, the image is actually interlocked. The 3 circles are interlocked,
Oh, right.
meaning if you use one, you have to use all of them.
Yeah.
Right?
That's-
The art shows you that.
Yeah.
To where you won't know what this means yet. We'll
Alchemist.
talk about it, but like the
Yeah.
Alchemist has 3 of them on it, but they're not interlocked, meaning that you can use them separately if you wish.
Oh, wait, there you go.
So very, very nice iconography thing there.
Yep.
Yep. And then there's the tunnel dice, which are the white ones. These are pretty basic. They are going to score you in sequences.
Yep.
So you need to have a 1 to start, and then you work your way up, 2, 3, 4, 5, There's no 6s because that's the beer side. And you add up basically all the pips you have in a sequence, which is super awesome. The treasure die are pretty cool. I didn't get a ton of these because everybody else picked them before me, but it's basically got 1, 2, or 3 treasure
just Bob.
icons. No, you and Jeff kept taking the
Jeff,
treasure.
I guess. I had like 1.
I had 1. The whole
I
game.
didn't score any.
Yeah, Bob didn't take any. Because
I
Bob
think I
kept
literally
taking all the
scored
hazard.
0 on that. the
So,
whole time.
anyways,
Anyway.
here's what you're going to do.
Oh,
is
the
you're gonna,
treasure.
The
Sorry.
treasure dice.
I was talking about the other one.
The hazard dice?
Yeah, when you said treasure, you were sliding the green one, and I was talking about the green one.
Oh,
My
yeah.
bad.
Nope, treasure dice.
treasure.
So, anyways, 1, 2, or 3. So you're going to score a point for each, piece of treasure or jewel you've got showing. But if you have the most treasure, you get double of what's showing, which is awesome. I love sort of the point salady way that this works, right? And then everybody's going to get a character with like an asymmetric power. You basically are going to have some symbols that will give you extra things. Like the character I had always had a sequence of a 1. Like
It had a 1 die on it.
So I always had a 1 to start my sequence, and then there's always a reroll.
Not always.
Bob, no, I had a reroll.
Oh, for you.
I
Yeah.
always got
For
a
you
reroll.
did, yeah.
So Bob's character, for example, was a dragon slayer, so he always had a shield, which meant taking dragons was always going to benefit him because they turn him into points.
Yep.
And then he also had like a
free reroll.
Free reroll. Jeff he had a character with 3 rerolls straight up, and then Dan had a number 2 in the sequence, and so he still needs 1s to score, but he has a free 2, and then he had the little pickaxe guy there, which will allow him to multiply score the cave-ins.
Yep.
And that's pretty much how it works. You're just going to go through the phase. You're going to play through 3 rounds, and then top score at the end of 3 rounds. It goes really fast.
Yep.
I thought this was really easy to teach. This is not a deluxe edition. I just bought this off the shelf of my FLGS. And it was relatively cheap. And so let's give this. Well, you guys have any thoughts you want to share before? I guess we'll share our thoughts while we give it a rating, right?
Sure.
So, Dan, how does our rating system work?
Well, we rate from 1 to 10, 0 to 10. We've never given a 0, but whatever, 0 to 10. We rank 0 to 10 each because we each have our own opinions, and one of you might relate to us more. I like games Bob likes more. I like the games Tim likes more generally, right? So you have someone you can relate to. But then that's not super useful on things like Board Game Geek and Reddit and stuff like that, things where you would share a rating for a game. So instead, we'll then average all of ours together so that we have one rating that we can put on websites like that. Or if you just say, what did Board Game Rundown give Dice Miner, you'll have one number that you have to worry about. So Tim, what do you think?
Well, I think
You
I'm
never
gonna let
go
Bob.
first.
I know. I always like to go last.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're making you go first. This
No.
time.
I'll go first.
Bob, what did Tim think?
Yeah, Bob. What do you think I thought?
Tim did
I
not like the fact that I had more points in the final round than his total score.
You had more points in the final round than anybody's total score, not
true,
just
I
mine.
Right, but I think
did.
you didn't like that it was yours, though, is what you're
Specifically.
saying.
Well, because I came in second.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's why I was singling myself out.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Bob, what do you think?
This guy. All right. I enjoyed it. I mean, I won. That definitely does
Yeah, you have to
help.
try to avoid that
I
bias.
try to avoid that bias a little bit. But it's a fun little dice game. I mean, is it like something super in depth? You're going to spend 2 hours really building an engine and doing all types of crazy. No, but it's a fun little 20, 30-minute dice game. Kind of like
speaking
a filler.
of building an engine,
Sure.
you keep your dice from previous rounds, and you
Correct. You have to re-roll
Yeah, so
them,
your
and they
trunk
is
keep
gonna
get
adding
bigger
in.
and
So
bigger.
there are these little trunks, these
chests?
treasure chests here, and
Which
that
you
will
lock
allow
die
you
face
basically
in.
to like lock in a couple of die faces,
Right.
To carry over to the next round. So you could set up future rounds for more scoring. Please
Correct.
continue.
Yeah.
So there's like a small aspect of engine building there.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit of mitigation that you can do to try to,
Right.
conserve things, but not a ton.
Right.
I'd probably give it a 7. Like
Yeah?
I would recommend it. I would play it. It's got a decent price point to go out and get. I'd come down on a 7 like that. Usually I like a little bit more depth,
Sure.
in mines or and whatnot. A little bit more maybe resource management
More depth in
or
the mines.
a little more, yeah, but not too deep, right? Because that's how we unlock the
Oh,
ball
no,
run,
give me
so.
That's right.
But yeah. so that's what I
Okay,
would
7.
recommend. Yeah.
All right, Daniel.
My turn. So I don't remember if you mentioned this, but I do like the iconography in the way that it tells you the numbers, right? So like this, if you have a green, for example, right? So this score is positive, or without the green, it scores negative. It's 3.
3.
There's 3 pictures there.
Mhm.
This one is 2. Can't really see that, I guess. There's no top camera on this one. But 2, 3, right? It's literally how many pictures. It's super nice iconography. The abilities were interesting. Obviously, that thing's awesome. It's gimmicky, but it's awesome, and it does actually form a function, for the game.
I would say that it's not gimmicky because it is actually
a function.
It is a function.
Sure,
you cannot play the game without this.
Of course, but it's
Correct.
gimmicky in the way that they were like, what if we stacked dice on a mountain? Let's build a game around it.
Well,
Sure,
yeah.
but it's not
That's
like
what I
what was that? The one where they had like the step thing that Patrick was like, "Oh, here's this." Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
right,
use
right.
it.
Praga.
Praga,
Praga.
Kaput, yeah.
Regni. Praga Kaput Regni. Right, that one
Yes.
has a bunch of 3D stuff that he was like, that's what it looks like. Back in the box. This is the game.
This is the game.
Right.
Yeah. This is actually something you would.
Of course,
use,
you
and
need
it's
it.
part of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna point out this is only after one play.
It's just one play.
So this is a kind of.
I was ready to play this again as soon as we were
He
done.
did.
Yes,
He did say that.
that.
This is a quick first impressions review for this one, right? And I didn't love it. It just felt really random and swingy, which is fine because it's a dice game, right? King of Tokyo can be random and swingy, right? So I guess, but I just tend to not play that kind of game that much. I mean, I literally, the score was 95 to 50 to 40 to 40. Almost 100 to 40.
So the problem is that nobody was counteracting
What I was
Bob's
drafting.
draft.
I was because I had the same thing as him. I was taking all the ones I could. You know,
Yeah.
our ability canceled each other, right?
Right.
It just
Pretty
so happened
much.
that with turn order and dice placement, he got them,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. It's not like it's a terrible game. Again, it's super fun, and I could see this is a game that I would pull out with like my family, my mom, my sisters. I'd be like, let's play this fun little dice game. But it's never gonna hit the top of my list.
Right.
And for that reason, I'm gonna just drop it below and say 6.5.
I can't not believe your guys' score.
Yeah, it just-
I think this game is fantastic. This is an 8.5.
Sure, you also
Because-
have 2 kids.
But yeah, but I mean, I can bust this game out. I can teach it, and I can play it in 25 to 30 minutes. It is not that expensive. The gimmick will draw people in, and actually, like, people will want to play this because they'll be like, "Oh, what's this thing?" Right? So they're already going to be interested. You've got awesome dice. Everybody likes cool dice, right? And unique dice. So this just has a lot going for it. No, it's not the most complicated game, but I love a good 30-minute game where I can have a good time. And because even if my game stinks, I could, and I have a terrible,
At least it doesn't last forever.
it's done.
Yeah.
Like by the time it's over, it's
Thank goodness that's over.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
what she said.
for me, I really enjoyed it. There's a solo mode, which I know Dan does not like solo games. I really look forward to digging in, no pun intended, into the solo mode and checking it out. Because it plays in like 20 minutes, a solo, it probably
Sure.
plays even faster.
Sure.
Like I could play this a lot. Like, so there's a lot of value for me with a low price point,
Right.
good production
Bang for your buck.
quality. Yeah, there's a lot here for me.
Right.
I also
So-
don't know the price point. I'm going into that blind for that.
It might have been
I hate to say.
$30.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
was pretty
our
cheap.
totals together, 7.3.
Yep.
Sure, which again, you say like, I can't believe you rated the game low kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think this game perfectly fits in a 7.3 range though.
Yep.
So I think, again, that's kind of why you average, right? Because
Oh, sure,
herd,
sure.
herd mentality and stuff, right?
Right.
But like,
I just think you guys are wrong.
sure.
Well, I mean, according to my score, I was
Well-
almost perfect. I was only 0.3 off. So
No, but I mean, because I know Bob likes heavier games, right?
Sure.
But,
Yeah.
and crunchier stuff. But there is strategy here and everything.
There is.
There
and
is
there is a
definitely-
place for games like this. I just think the market is saturated with a lot that I like more. Right?
Okay.
You're saying this game's great. Yeah, but there's a lot of games I can think of that do not the same thing, but fit in that exact same type of bubble that I like a lot more. So why have this one? For me. That's all
for
I'm
me,
saying.
I'll tell you why. It's because of the unique dice. This mechanic here. There's no other game that I play that's got this and this or
And
anything like this.
I might wind up loving this game after multiple plays.
That's
I'm
fair.
definitely not
after he
saying
doesn't play against me and gets his butt kicked.
correct. I'm definitely not saying, oh, this is like a 6.5 max. I hate this game. It's boring. It's stupid. There's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of fun to be had here. I'm just saying after the one play, an initial reaction I had, it was a bit swingy. It was a bit lucky. It was a bit, not crunchy that I tend like. It was just, it missed a lot of things I go for initially. But
Sure.
next time I might play this, it might be super crunchy. You
Right.
know?
Well, I think this treasure guy's got a cool ability. So you get like one free gem that gets you towards that,
And
and,
you
the
can-
2 chests. You can
Yeah.
permanently lock in 2.
Honestly, if I knew what all the icons did at the beginning, I might have
Probably
taken
choking
it.
them.
well, we just kind of handed them out.
Yeah,
they
just-
gave me the
And
Dragon
we
Slayer,
gave
and that
we
was the
gave Bob the game.
downfall. Yeah.
That's
we
true.
literally
That
handed
last
Bob the
round,
game.
I
We're like,
had
here you go, Bob.
I had the one shield on there, plus I drafted 2 more shields, and then I had a ton of dragon dice. It was 54 points in 1 round. That was
Yeah, you can
amazing.
stop talking about it. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm going to zoom in on that score there just
was-
for.
what was that?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
weird. The camera stopped
What
working.
was that? But
okay.
no. But anyways, guys, Dice Miner. I mean, we all had a good time
Yeah,
playing it.
we
Like,
did- we had fun playing it.
despite us like arguing about, bickering about, this and that. But,
Who killed who?
Right,
yeah.
Right. If Tim and I both gave it an 8, we'd argue over why we each gave it an
Yeah,
8. Right?
You gave it an 8 for the wrong
There's
reason.
gonna be
Dave.
there's gonna be an argument.
Right,
Yeah.
but I enjoyed this. I didn't back it on Kickstarter because it came at like a time where it wasn't a great time for me to back stuff.
Right. Right.
But I was happy to see it on the shelf. I do not regret buying it. I'm glad to have it because it's going to be, we go to a meetup like.
Again, too, I know, repetitive, but this is a great family weight game, too, which you care about the most out of 3 of us. I think you're going to
Yeah.
get a lot out of
Yeah,
this.
and then
Correct.
also like if we're at a game night, right, and it's like, well, we're waiting on like 2 more people to
Yeah,
show up.
Spencer will be here in an hour. So
Right.
Mhm.
We could just bang that out real quick.
I'm kind of hoping there's an expansion that has more players eventually.
Could be.
4 is a weak number for
A
me.
bigger number, a
usually.
bigger mountain.
Oh, bigger mountain. That'd be sick. The Everest expansion.
Oh,
there you
boy.
go.
Oh boy. So anyways, guys, this has been Dice Miner from Atlas Games. I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Dan.
And this was a Board Game Rundown. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.